Crawley, Coleman, what's up, my man?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you all very much for having me. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, we can hear you good. You just
Perfect.
came from Houston Temple, right?
Yes, I did. Just got out of there.
What side were you on in this one?
I was on Houston minus 11. So basically every game I've gone to of late, first half, second half, entirely different basketball games. So I knew when we were down four at halftime, I was in good shape.
I tailed you on that today, so
Good,
yeah,
good,
yeah,
good for you.
good, good looking out. So Coleman, tell us a little bit about this crazy journey that you're on. It's been so cool to follow, and tell us about what you've been up to.
Absolutely. Crazy is the perfect word for it. So I've set out on a journey to find Cinderella before the ball. I'll be attending a Liberty game Saturday. Liberty very well could be one of those Cinderellas. But I got the idea from last year, St. Peter's. They made the run to the Elite Eight. Someone posted a link to every school in Division One, their average attendance numbers. And so I got to sorting through those in the off season and was stunned by how many programs didn't average 1,000 people in attendance. St. Peter's was one of those that didn't average 526 people. They make the Elite Eight. Syracuse averaged 17,000 people. They didn't even make the NCAA tournament. So I knew there was a high level of talent on display that wasn't being showcased until mid-late March when they win a couple big games in the tournament, right? And so I wanted to fix that, draw light or draw some coverage at least to these small and mid majors before they get hot.
So what's on the schedule after Liberty? Are you sticking around to some more Virginia teams? Are you going to up to Radford or over to Longwood, or what's the plan?
I'm trying to think of what I had after Liberty. I can't remember what my schedule is for the 12th, but I've tweeted it out. It's on my Twitter.
Okay.
I can't remember what my plan is for
You
where I'm
would
going after
UNC Greensboro.
Boom. That's where
Okay.
I'm headed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. Yeah.
Offer.
Let me see if I can pull this up. We'll ask another question while I try to do this.
So as you were in the off season looking at all these attendance and as you said, looking for the next Cinderella, how long of a process is that? I mean, are you just spending all summer combing through these numbers or?
Honestly, it was pretty easy data to just copy, paste, and sort. But yeah, the hardest part I would say of my preparation of my binder was the atlas that I made for myself. So every day from the 28th until selection Sunday, I highlighted on an atlas map a yellow dot on every city that a game was being played for that day. So Thursdays, Saturdays, it's very easy to find a game, right? But
Yeah.
Monday, Fridays, Sundays, that's a little bit more difficult. And so I knew I would have to be heading in the right direction of where games are being played Friday, Monday, in order to not miss any games. I was going to try to get to a game every single day if possible. So that's kind of why I've been in the Northeast for so much of January, but going to try to get to the Midwest, South a little bit in February.
So you quit your job to do this. Tell us about that.
Yes. Yeah. My boss looked at me crazy when I told him in late December, just before Christmas, about this insane idea that I have. But I think he saw the passion in my voice and my face that I was absolutely going to pursue it. He was gracious enough to give me 3 weeks, basically, of vacation to where if I get out there and it's not picking up any traction, I could come back and be like, hey, boss, I plan on still working here as long as I was committed. But got enough traction in those 3 weeks to where I was like, okay, I hope I can land something full time in this by March. So decided to keep pursuing it.
Nice. So, funny story. When I was a kid and I would go over to my grandma's house, I was so bored, nothing to do. I would look through her newspapers and look at the scores of not just, I grew up in North Carolina, so not just like the ACC teams, but I would look at mid-major teams, like teams I had never heard of, Liberty being one of those back in the day. And I would sit there and be like, okay, based off of records, based off of scores, and I would draw out my own bracketology. Were you a nerd kid like that, like I was, or?
Absolutely was a nerd with numbers, and you combine numbers, gambling spreads, right, with my competitiveness, and it was a match made in heaven. Maybe for Vegas, I guess it's heaven, but not for me this year. So yeah, I was without a doubt a nerd like that, to where I was grinding through newspapers and things of that nature, just anything I could do to watch more college basketball or at least see the status of the standings, right?
So Coleman, what's maybe one of the cooler atmospheres that you've been to so far? Maybe one that you wouldn't think. I know you've been up in my neck of the woods up here in Mac country. What's one you've been to that's been really cool?
I would definitely say Dayton was the best. That's probably one that you would expect, though. VCU was second best. One that you might not expect, North Carolina A&T, HBCU in Greensboro. Watch them play Towson. Towson, I think, is absolutely a Cinderella candidate, even with Charleston in that conference. It was an incredible atmosphere, sold out, packed. It's basically a party between every TV timeout and halftime, at least at North Carolina A&T. And so that made all 2 hours a blast, not just what I was watching on the floor. North Carolina A&T was a awesome experience.
I actually saw North Carolina A&T play Liberty in Dayton back in 2013. Yeah, they've got a
Wow.
great band. It was in the first four.
Yeah, yeah. No, Dayton, God, they absolutely deserve that first four, the way that town supports basketball.
Yeah, they're really cool with that whole event. They it's always packed out because I mean, look, it's like 2 days after the selection show. You're not going to get that many fans. I know like St. Mary's was one of the team playing. Matthew Dellavedova was playing at one of the games, and like how many fans from St. Mary's are going to be able to travel across the country in 2 days? But yeah, the whole place was packed out. It was really cool. Coleman, what do you know about Liberty and Darius McGee?
Oh, I know Richie McKay has done an incredible job with this program over the last half decade. I mean, you all have basically been running the ASON. When you got a player like a Darius McGee that averages 20 a game, right, that just puts so much pressure on a defense. And, it's a matchup that you're probably not wanting to draw if you're that 4 seed, 5 seed, right, waiting on Selection Sunday, because you may not have the best player on the floor. And if Darius just goes off that night is better than you are, even with great defense, it might be enough to knock you off, send you home early. So I have been following Liberty over the last few years, and got the utmost respect for what Coach McKay is doing.
Yeah, Coleman, when you go to these games, do you get to spend much time in the city, or is it just next flight out, got to go? Or do you get in your car and go, or do you get to like a chance to kind of visit the campus and meet some of the people and things like that?
At some places, I have been able to visit the campus, meet some people. East Tennessee State gave me an incredible experience and tour around their beautiful campus in Johnson City. But for the most part, I'm having to get back to my hotel to either edit my content, plan my future days. Like right now for tomorrow, I need to be putting out bracketology. So I'll be deep diving into that, to where I'm spending so much time on what's next or what's right there in front of me that I'm not getting a lot of time to spend in these cities or on these campuses. Would love for that to change a little bit if I was able to do this in a full-time capacity and get other aspects that maybe people that aren't even interested in college basketball would be interested in.
You went to 2 games in one on a Friday night the other day, didn't you? Cleveland State and Akron.
Yeah, Kent State, Buffalo. So yeah, that was just about a 45-minute drive. Able to get over there for the second half, but when geographically it's possible, I try to get every doubleheader I can.
Nice. What's the smallest crowd you've been to so far?
Smallest crowd. Gosh, there was a game I went to that had than 500 people. I'm trying to remember what that game was. But the Patriot, the NEC, Wagner, God, they playing in
The NEC broke him.
Yep. Wagner did the job.
Okay, my back.
He's back.
You're back.
Sorry about that.
You were just talking about how awful Wagner is.
Yeah, their gym. It looks like your third grade nephew is about to be going out there. No, it's a Division I basketball team, and Wagner has a legit shot to win the NCAA tournament, maybe punch a bid. I couldn't believe what that venue looked like. But yeah, I think the attendance numbers were 479. And some of these, when I look at the attendance numbers afterwards that I've been to, I'm like, there weren't 800 people in that gym. I was at Coppin State the other day, and they posted that there were somewhere around 800. No way. There was no way. So the MEAC, the NEC, the Patriot League, those have been specific leagues that I've seen really poor attendance in.
Well, in that same vein, is there an arena or a crowd that you've been around that you thought going into it, like, this is going to be a terrible experience, and it turned out better than you thought it would be?
You know, I'm pretty fired up going into any gym just for the newness of it and just the potential of what's going to happen in this game, what's going to happen today. That's what's so exciting about this journey is each day just presents its new opportunity. So I haven't really approached any, I guess, with kind of a negative outlook going in. So no, I don't think I got an answer for you there. Sorry.
Hey, but if you got money on a NEC game, it beats Duke, North Carolina if you got something at stake in it. So
yeah, exactly.
Cole, before we get you out of here, give us a tip because you are at Sharp Shot Select. So give us maybe a peek behind the curtain at what you look at when you are finding your best bets of the day or the week.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just the philosophy I have, and I put in some work to develop this philosophy, but it makes me look like I'm kind of a square when I bet because I take almost exclusively favorites. That's changed a little bit since I've been with Shot Quality. They've got some great analytics that has me taking a few more dogs. But I did a study over the last 4 years of the top 2 teams in each conference at the end of the year and the bottom 2 teams in each conference, how they would do against the spread. And each year consistently, they hit at about a 55 to a 58% clip. Now, obviously, it's difficult sometimes to pick who those top 2 would be or those bottom 2 would be at the end of the year. Sometimes it's obvious in some conferences. But that's just the philosophy I have where ride the best, fade the worst, and you should be half decent with that at worst.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to put up here one more time kind of where you're at. Liberty fans, make sure you go up and say hi to Coleman when he's there. Maybe you can get on one of his videos, just pumping out some really cool content. I think it is so cool what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, best of luck to you the rest of the way. Shout out where everyone could find all your stuff and follow you on this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. On Twitter and TikTok, it's at Sharp Shot Select. That's where I post my picks, as well as posting footage of the games that I attend, reviews of those games in the arena. That's where you can find me.